I'm doing a response video to a guy named Alan. I had to fix your fucking audio so he wouldn't get ear raped, Alan. Oh, and Alan, I'm bringing in Danny the Dingo in on this one.
Bruh, I dropped the cartoon weeks ago. You know this.
So wait, you're not the Dingo? We all love the Dingo.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please do not abuse, harass, or threaten anyone on this video that I'm about to take down. This means please do not go to their channel. But whatever you do, I'm not your papa. I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Damn it, Danny!
Oh, if you don't leave me alone, you're gonna have to send me home.
Jesus fuck.
'Cause I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Well, Danny, I got a gem today. So let's get into this. Alan, let me introduce you to the artist formerly known as Danny the Dingo, now Danny the Masshole.
Hello yet again, YouTube. This is Alan here.
Hello, Alan. What do you have for us today?
I'm basically trying to answer some questions and things like that. I noticed that my first message was flagged and deleted, which it kind of pissed me off. But you know what? I'll be all right.
I know that shit sucks. I'm with you. That would piss me off too. What was it flagged for? Would be the next question. But I'm glad to see you're taking it well.
The day that I did print it, I was very angry. I still have my certain feelings about white people.
Well, fuck me running. It's another racist asshat. I'm not white, so Danny, take it away, please.
What the hell's he got against white people? Also, why is he so goddamn close to the goddamn camera? Motherfucker, we don't want to see up your nose.
And a couple of people kind of made some replies toward my message, saying that I'm a liar, and that I'm a moron, and that I'm an idiot, and that I'm this, and that I'm that.
Well, I can't say anything about you being a liar, but if you're a racist, then I will agree with them.
I tell those people to go get a life, and
Says the guy making cryptic messages toward white people who can't get to the goddamn point.
just basically just go about your business and find something, a hobby or something.
I have a hobby. It's taking dumb shit videos, taking them to task, and tearing them apart.
You know, I feel that I am entitled to an opinion on how I feel.
I agree with you, but if you put dumb shit out there, then you better be ready for the backlash and the counter thoughts, because once it's out there, it's open for criticism.
And I just basically feel that white people has dominated the world. You go over there in China, they want to be white.
Not an unfair statement, being that the majority of the greatest empires from the world's history either originate from Western Asia, very close to Europe, or the far east of Asia, the only place in the world in which the average IQ is actually higher than Europe. So that doesn't entirely shock me. And what is it any business of yours if they choose to want to look a certain way or be a certain way? I don't really think that has anything to do with you. So your opinion on it is kinda, well, you can have it, but it's kind of null and void.
You go over in other countries, I'm talking about these third world countries, and a white person would go over there and they get pretty much dignity and respect. They go over in Egypt and they'll get served like they were Jesus Christ or something, you know?
No, I don't know. Danny, you're white. Do you know?
Did you just assume my race? I'll have you know that I'm trans-Asian, and I plan to have surgery to have the corners of my eyes pulled back to my ears.
And a lot of my black brothers and sisters don't understand that when slavery happened, they had it planned. I mean, it's just like...
Look, about 80%, give or take, of warring tribes took prisoners of war and sold these POWs to whomever would buy them so that they wouldn't have to fight against them again. And it was mostly white Americans, but Arabs did it as well.
That's actually incorrect. If we're talking about Eastern slave trade, which the Arabs took part in, it really wasn't much of a trade, such as Arabs brutalizing Africans and taking them into slavery. Now, the Western African slave trade, we can't say for certain just how long it took place before white people got involved, but we can say for certain white people were the last people to the table, and within 300 to 400 years of us being involved with it, slavery was abolished. Funny how that works.
When you are building a building, or if you're building something, or if you're making a sofa, or whatever it is, you first have to have a plan on how you're going to do that. And secondly, a lot of people do not know that they just did not jump out of the bushes and grab everybody. They basically had certain age groups, and they manipulated them into coming over here.
Oh, you dumb, uninformed, non-history reading piece of shit. You know, y'all got a full month dedicated to your history, and yet you're still ignorant to your ancestors' American history. Look, they didn't volunteer to come here, and when they got here, most of them said, fuck this, I want to go back, and I ain't gonna work for you.
Alright, racist. I ain't hooked up in all that racism shit. My motto is life is just be happy with motherfuckers. I ain't into all that racism shit. Racism ain't as bad as it used to be anyway, man. I mean, it's fucked up, but they don't call niggas no more and shit. White people don't say it, especially when there's niggas around, so I guess I wouldn't know it. I went to Texas, though, looking for racism. About 2 months ago, I had a showdown in Texas, got off the plane and shit, walked up looking for racism, but my friends always told me, you better not go to Texas. They'll fuck you up. And when my modern day brother hear that shit, they be like this, what? They ain't fucking nobody up. Brothers act like they couldn't have been slaves back 200 years ago. It ain't like the motherfuckers like that shit. I wish I was a slave. I would fuck somebody up. Shit, tell me to bale some motherfucking cotton. I would have been on the street and shit. You would have came up and said, hey, yo, nigga, bale this cotton. Oh, said, suck my dick, master. Suck my motherfucking dick. That's right, I ain't bailing the motherfucker. It wasn't like that shit. The first dude that got off the boat said that shit. Bail that cotton. Fuck you, motherfucker. The other motherfucker said, we'll bail the shit. Just keep that shit over there. Just keep that fucking shit away from me.
Sorry about that rant, Danny.
And they treated them like horse shit. That's basically how it is.
Well, nobody was jumping out of the bushes and just grabbing people, except, again, the Muslims. But if we're going to talk about this, he actually was right about one thing. They did actually have specific demographics that they were looking for. Because a 50 to 60-year-old slave, or even a 40-year-old slave, keeping in mind how old they actually lived to in Africa, so a 30 to 40-year-old slave wasn't worth that much to a plantation owner. Because he wasn't going to be in working shape for that much longer. No, what a plantation owner would have been looking for was slaves in their late teens, early 20s, where they're still at an age where they can have children, repopulate, but they're also at an age where they can work. So yes, they did target certain demographics, but looking at what they were doing and what their goal for these slaves was, can you really be that surprised? I mean, slavery as a whole was an atrocity, but it's just logical that if they're looking for slaves to do work, that they're going to look for the people most fit to do it, and the people most fit to carry on with another generation.
And for you white people who report my messages, I'm just going to keep on making those messages because my people will not be left out in the dark.
Your people left in the dark? You realize that if a white person said some shit like that, they'd be called racist.
They will not be blindness to your white supremacy or your white privilege.
Motherfucker, your fish tank is the only thing that's blinding anyone. And the ear rape in your fucking video is your damn filters for it. Can't you record in a different room, or at least at just a minimum? Turn off the fish tank lamp? Jesus fucking Korean Christ. Danny, how does your white privilege work out for you? Any extra special perks in your life for you?
Ah, white privilege. Yes, I do have very fond memories of being beaten up as a kid for being the only white kid in a Mexican neighborhood. Or how about the time that I pointed out to my history teacher when I was in 9th grade that he was skipping over the chapter about the African slave trade and just saying that white people were just out in the jungle grabbing black people and kidnapping them, because the chapter said the exact opposite, and if he actually read what the chapter said, it would show that blacks sold other blacks to white people into the slave trade. And for pointing this out in front of my entire class and embarrassing the teacher, I was hauled down to the principal's office and told to stop being such a fucking racist. And you know what the worst part is? I was pretty much like full SJW at that point, but I was starting to question a little bit. I believed them because I was a naive 15-year-old. So yeah, gotta love that white privilege.
These are certain things on my last video that I explained to you guys is certain things that I have experienced in life. And I don't have to lie about anything. I don't have to charade this big party to make some video to get certain attention. And I'm definitely one guy. He kind of made a reply about me getting welfare. Nobody gives me shit. I don't get a damn thing. I get up every morning, Monday through Friday, and I work my ass off. And I do everything that I need to do to make sure I'm supported. My parents don't even help me out. I have to do everything on my own to make sure that I eat, that I have a roof over my head, and that I pay my car note and whatever it is that needs to be paid.
That's quite admirable. You've learned how to adult. I'm glad for you. But you realize everyone has a different life experience. So that granted, you might have had a shitty growing up, but if that is the case, join the club. I don't need oppression points, though.
Nobody helps me with nothing. So before you decide to start rumors, and before you start name calling, I want you to study your facts instead of jumping the gun and saying shit that's not true or something you know nothing about. That's what you white people do. You see something that's a threat and you get rid of it.
How dare you, Danny? What do you have to say for yourself?
Dingoes gotta eat, you feel me? And apparently it's either babies or black people. So, take your pick.
But yet, you expect for us to suck it up if something happened to our people.
No, just you as an individual, you need to suck it up. And all you other multi-skin colored people as well.
And I'm just saying, that's not right. Now, this is my opinion, okay? And some of it is fact, because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've lived in different states all over the world from the time I was 18 until now. At the age of 37, I just made 37, last week, Sunday? So I've been around. I've seen some things.
I love hearing black people say, I've seen some things. I don't know why, it just strikes me funny.
I grew up in Hoffman Estates with the white kids. I was the only black kid in school.
So you bragging or complaining?
And I was called every mixed black derogatory name you could ever think of.
Good, so you should have a thick skin and realize what others say does not define you.
And I was a very cool guy. And um, every white person that I have met had something to say or something very disrespectful, being very disrespectfully. You know?
No, I don't know.
That's really messed up, you know, and that what gave me the perception that all white people are devils. You guys are white devils, and you know what you're doing, and you call yourself trying to take over the world, which I, I despise you for that, white people.
Danny, are you really trying to take over the world? Are white people in some sort of like Illuminati type of thing?
Well, I don't know about white people, but my Sith Empire is coming, and you all better be afraid.
You need to start, letting us have our own. I mean, it's really something too. Now that I think about it, it's just that there is no black businesses that I've ever seen, that I've ever grew up, really. There's no black businesses anywhere. There's no Native American businesses anywhere.
Alright, now I can really chime in. First off, I realize what you mean by Native Americans, you mean me. But unless you were born in a different country, you are also a Native American. And how are you going to sit there and say there are no Native American or black companies?
As in fact, I was on a reservation one time, and it really was fucked up. Those people didn't have any running water. They didn't have any, the roofs was caving in. It was really fucked up for this to, be the native country of Native Americans, and they live in like fucking rats. That's fucked up, white people.
And white people can control this how? And second, were you in Alaska where for most of the winter they have to melt snow because the water lines will bust, as it would for anyone living there? Make a claim like that, you best give details. It could be out in the desert where water can be hard to get to anybody. Details matter, otherwise you look like a dumbass.
Racism everywhere. Everybody pissed off. Black people yelling racism. White people yelling reverse racism. Chinese people yelling sideways racism. And the Indians ain't yelling shit because they dead. So everybody bitch about how bad they people got it. Nobody got it worse than the American Indian. Everybody need to calm the fuck down. Indians got it bad. Indians got it the worst. You know how bad the Indians got it? When's the last time you met two Indians? You ain't never met two Indians. Shit, I have seen a polar bear ride a fucking tricycle in my lifetime. I have never seen an Indian family just chilling out at Red Lobster. Never seen it. Everybody want to save the environment. Shit, I see trees every fucking day. I don't never see no Indians. I went to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade this year. They didn't even have enough Indians for that shit. They had a bunch of pilgrims. When it came time for the Indians, they had 3 real Indians, and the rest was a bunch of Puerto Ricans with feathers in their hair. The fuck? Shit, I know Puerto Ricans when I see them. You can't slip a Puerto Rican by me. That's not Pocahontas, that's Jennifer Lopez.
That's exactly what I am talking about. You basically try to flip the script on certain subjects, and that's that. I mean, you need to stop doing that, white people. You need to start giving other minorities a chance. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, you're spinning the same narrative that all white people get shit so much easier. But in fact, y'all have affirmative action to help you out, so y'all actually got it easier. School grants that are only available to minorities. You get to cry racist whenever someone hurts your feelings. So fuck off with all that.
So, by the way, my boss basically wants me to fly to France. It's basically going to be an experience. I don't want to go, to tell you the truth, but it's going to be such an experience, and I will basically make another video once I'm there. Okay.
Okay, Alan, this has fuck all to do with your video. You need to learn how to edit, because you are shit at it if you even bothered to. Any final thoughts, Danny?
Really, nigga?
Thank you, Danny, for helping me out with this video, and thank you for allowing me on your channel. And if you're not subscribed to Danny, the link will be down below. Please go subscribe to him. Also, I got some fan art for the first time that I will show here at the end for my outro.
Do it!
If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.